Hi, Stacy here with Kingdom Kids Volunteer Training. Today's video discusses 2 classroom care routines unique to infants: safe infant sleep and safe infant feeding. Infants under the age of 1 sleep more often than any other age group and may need to sleep during your classroom time. Since infants under the age of 1 are at an increased risk for SIDS and sleep-related injury, it's important to follow the ABCs of safe infant sleep. A is for alone. Make sure the infant is dressed warm enough for the room or using a swaddle blanket and not a loose blanket. Make sure no toys or stuffed animals are in the crib with the infant. B is for back. Infants should always be placed on their backs when in your care. As parents, we learn different sleeping positions our children enjoy and can make those decisions for our children, but the children in our classrooms should always be placed on their backs to sleep. The C is for crib. Often infants will fall asleep playing or in a swing. Once they are sleeping, they should be moved to an area that's designed for sleeping, such as a crib or a pack and play. Play chairs and swings can put infants in an unsafe position for sleeping, which is why they should be moved to an area where they can be alone, on their back, and in a crib designed for sleep. The S in ABCs is for supervision. If an infant falls asleep in your arms and you have enough volunteers to safely care for the other infants, it's perfectly fine to hold a sleeping infant. If you do not have enough volunteers to safely attend to the other infants while one volunteer holds the sleeping infant, they should be placed in a crib where they can be supervised in the same way the other infants in the room are supervised. This means that the crib should be in the same room, in view of all adults, and the sleeping child should be checked on the same way you would check on and attend to other infants playing or swinging. Safe infant feeding starts when the infants arrive. Make sure all children have their bottles labeled with their first and last name, and you have been given any special instructions from parents. Each ministry has specific procedures for heating or storing bottles, but since service times are usually under 2 hours, most bottles can be stored as they were prepared and packed for the children. When feeding an infant, make sure you are following their schedule and cues. You should never force an infant to eat or withhold a bottle if it's available for them. Infants should always be held when being fed a bottle and never allowed to walk around the room with their bottle. The reason for this is to prevent mouth and face injuries from a fall, and because feeding an infant their bottle is a special bonding time that fosters feelings of love and trust. Caring for infants is a huge part of our classroom time together, and it's a great way to model the love and care their Heavenly Father has for each one of them.